So good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. For you guys who do not know me, my name is Chacha. I'm a digital educator and entrepreneur. I'm a private chef. I'm an investor. I'm a divine feminine. I do a bunch of things, but the main thing I try to do is put people on, elevate their mindset, shift their paradigm, and just show you that there are different ways to think about life. And probably the way that you've been thinking about life is not really conducive to where you want to be. So you have to shift how you see yourself and where you see yourself going in order to make sure that you get ahead. So every Wednesday, right? I actually go live 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Mondays and Fridays, we are on the charts. We are making money. We are analyzing the charts. We are in the foreign exchange markets. We are getting to the bag. But on Wednesdays, in my organization, it's called Wellness Wednesdays. And at 2 p.m., I do something called OTC or off the charts, where again, we talk about different things related to money, and specifically money blockages and what can be preventing you from making the type of money that you want to make. So, welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody who has just joined me for the first time, and welcome back to people who have been on this type of call before. I love talking about this stuff. It really shifted my mindset. It also changed my life, and it allowed me to get the type of results that I'm getting today. It's more than just the practical application. It's more than just saying your affirmations. You have to truly believe that whatever you're going after in your life is something that you're going to be able to obtain. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about today is self image, right? So self image. So for people who are taking notes, we could write that down because that's going to be a huge focus about what we're talking about today. Now, you can participate either on IG Live or you can participate on Zoom. And let me know when you think about your own self image, what are some words that come to mind, right? For my personal self, it's changed over time, but it's wealthy, it's successful, it's influential, it's investor, it's foodie, right? These are some words that I associate with my self image, right? And these are positive things. They make me feel good about myself. But what if you have a negative center or a negative self image and you think about things that don't make you feel good about yourself, and how can you change that? Right. So there was this author. He was actually the first author and researcher. His name was Maxwell Maltz. And I really hope that you guys are really paying attention because this is just, I feel like it's just information that everybody should know and understand. Right. So Maxwell Maltz was a researcher, he was an author, and he wrote a book, right, called Cybernetics. Right. If you've heard Cybernetics, probably if you've been on one of my calls or if you've been on Bob Proctor's call, or it's just a lot of different people who talk about this concept. But if you've heard about Cybernetics, drop one in the chat, right, on IG or on Zoom. And if you've never heard about Cybernetics, drop a two in the chat, right? Because he was the first author and researcher to say that your self image has a lot to do with how you see yourself and where you're going to get based on that image. He didn't start off being an author. He actually was, I believe, a plastic surgeon, right? He was a plastic reconstructive surgeon, and he would perform reconstructive surgeries on people who had had plastic surgery and they didn't like what they saw. So he would have to come through and he would have to fix them, right? Now, this is important because after he was able to get them the good results, he realized that these people became happy. And he concluded that your self confidence, right? Your self confidence and how you feel about yourself is directly tied to the image that you see of yourself in your head, right? Now, if somebody wants to get plastic surgery or they want to change the way they look, it's because they're not happy with what's on the outside. Hence, it's going to affect their actions, it's going to affect everything, right? So he figured if he can get people closer to, right, the self image that they saw in their head, then they will be happier. So, how you feel about yourself and your mind is going to be extremely important in getting you to do what it is that you need to do in order to be able to become that person, right? Now, this is important to understand because cybernetics, right, is the concept that things will always come back to the center of what it should be. It's always going to balance out, right? And the best example I can give you, I give this example all the time, is if you have an air conditioner, right? Or if you have a heating system in a home and you set that heating system to 72 degrees, right? You set the system to 72 degrees. And if it's wintertime and somebody opens the door, right, it's going to bring the temperature down to maybe like if the frequency is thrown off, it's going to bring the temperature down maybe to 65 degrees. So the cybernetic system, right, the cybernetic system within the home is going to bring the temperature, right? The system is going to automatically come on. It's going to bring the temperature back up to where it needs to be. And the home is going to rebalance itself back to 72 degrees because that is the center of where it should be. So when I'm asking you guys, like, what is your center and what do you see yourself as? That's going to be very important in how you're, again, moving towards achieving your goals, right? Because if you have a negative self image and you're always talking to yourself like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I always mess up, this always happens, right? Oh, nobody likes me. Oh, I'm always saying something stupid. I'm so stupid. Oh, I made a mistake. If you're constantly talking to yourself that way, that's because that's how you've been programmed to respond to challenges. That's how you've been programmed to respond to mistakes. And you actually can change that, right? So that's what we're here to talk about today. If you can change your center and your core and what you believe about yourself, those internal images, then you can change, honestly, the entire direction of your life. Like you can really change the direction of your life by changing your internal self image. So, how do we do that, right? I wish I could draw on the screen, but we first have to understand how the mind works, right? We first have to understand how the mind works. And I really need to get my other whiteboard or find another whiteboard, but the mind, think about your mind as a circle, right? I'm gonna say this all the time because Bob Proctor says this all the time. Think about your mind, because when most people think about the mind, they think about the brain, right? But we have to understand that your mind and your brain are two different things, right? Your brain is a physical organ, and your mind is a living thing as well. It's two different things. So when you think about the mind, think about a circle, right? And I'm gonna just keep switching gears because I'm on two screens right now. This is your mind, right? Now divide it in half. So now that you have a split circle. Now the top half is your conscious mind, right? Your conscious mind are things you can control. The music you're listening to, the people you're talking to, the things that you're smelling is your immediate environment. This is everything that you can see, everything you understand, things you're choosing to do, choices you're choosing to make, right? Now, below that is the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is going to believe whatever the conscious mind tells it, right? So if you're scrolling on Instagram all day, if you're talking to people who are, I don't know, negative, if you're talking to people who complain about money, if you talk to people who don't have it, people who always have a problem, people who just are always bringing your vibration down, then that's what you're allowing into your subconscious mind. And then it's trickling down. No, you're allowing it into your conscious mind because you're choosing to engage with these people, and it's trickling into your subconscious mind, therefore causing your internal center to be programmed to operate from a place of fear and negativity, right? If that makes sense so far, just drop some sevens in the chat, and you can drop this on Zoom or you can drop this on IG as well, right? If you're always consuming negative media, right? Because this is essentially why they design Instagram, right? If they design Instagram for you to scroll on it, for you to waste your mind, waste your time on things, this is what you're constantly going to see, right? You may see people that are broke, sad, depressed, unhappy, people that are, I don't know, just doing things that you just don't agree with. Yet you keep finding yourself coming back to these same people, these same posts, these same things. Why? Because that's what you're programming your center self to believe, and it's not true, right? So having the awareness that you can be more conscious of your awareness and the things you're doing and the people you're talking to and the books you're reading to filter your subconscious mind a little bit better. Hopefully that makes you feel better, right? Because your body, right? Now remember the picture of your mind. There's a circle, there's the top circle, there's your conscious mind, things that you are in control of. There's your subconscious mind, right? That's going to literally believe any single thing that you tell it. And below both of those things is your body, right? And I say this, and I'm going to say this on every call because your body is just a function of your mind, right? And Cybernetics says that you're going to do whatever your body is telling you to do, but your body is only doing whatever your mind tells you to do. But your mind is only doing whatever you allow into it. So I hope you guys are starting to see the connections between how important it is to filter the things that are coming into your mind, right? This was one of the most important concepts that I actually learned because it taught me how to shift my paradigm, right? And if you guys never heard the word paradigm, a paradigm is your core, it's your central center that controls every single thing that you believe, how you act, and everything. Now, I know a lot of people have a negative self image because you've never been surrounded by positive images of money, right? If you're constantly seeing people spend money online, but they're not telling you how they're making that money, You're going to program yourself to believe that all you have to do is spend money, right? With no way to actually build that wealth, right? Celebrities don't show you how to build wealth, but they show you how to spend money. And then you wonder why you never have any money, right? And all your friends, you guys may be in the same social circle, listen to the same music, and a lot of your friends are in the same situation. So then what happens? You guys end up talking about the same negative things, hence perpetuating that same reality for yourself, right? If that makes sense, drop some sevens in the chat, right? Because the reason why certain music is the way it is, right? The reason why certain TV shows are the way they are, right? The reason why you're seeing all of these things is because that's how the world wants you to move, right? Like, would you believe that 98% of people are okay with the programming that is being given to them by the media? Like, you don't think about it. Some people don't get up and think for themselves. They get up, they check their phones, they get up, they get on social media, they get up, they text other people, they get up, they go to their jobs, they get up, they watch the news. So they're actually starting to believe that everything that they're observing is actually true, right? They're actually starting to believe that because this is all they intake, right? This is all they intake. And you have to be willing to bring awareness to the fact that you have not been in control of the things that you're taking in, right? You may not have even known that Instagram is designed to distract you. Social media is designed to distract you. Now you can use it for business, but that's not the purpose of it, right? Because if you are able to think for yourself, then you're able to change the world, right? If you're able to have original ideas, right? If you're able to have original ideas that come from the spirit, that come from somewhere else, if you're actually able to execute nothing to something, right? If you're actually able to execute that thing, do you know how much better a place the world would be if everybody had control of their free thinking and thought? But that's not how it is, right? And that's why the 1% exists, right? That's why the 2% exists. It's not just about classism and money, right? It's honestly about your mindset, right? Your mindset. How is your mind set? Literally, guys, I really want you to answer that question in the chat. Have you been programmed to be wealthy? Have you been programmed to think that money comes easily and abundantly to you from every way? Have you been programmed to think that you don't have to have a job to make money? Like, have you been programmed to think that millions and billions are possible and exist for everybody on this planet? Like, have you been programmed to think that you can do anything you put your mind to? Right? Now, I know a lot of us have heard the saying, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. But when you understand how fundamental your mind is as a tool into practically achieving your dreams and desires, you're going to take it a little bit more seriously and you're not going to let so much nonsense in. Right? Now, there's a book. It's a really good book. I talk about this book all the time. If you've ever had a chance to be on one of my other calls, right? I typically do these calls on Zoom and not IG, but I feel like everybody needs to hear this information. It's called Outwitting the Devil, right? And within this book, the devil, right? He tells you exactly what he's going to do to distract you and destroy your mind, right? He tells you exactly what he's going to do. He's going to give you things that you like. He's going to make it easy for you, right? He's going to make it accessible. He's going to make it enticing, right? And it's going to be a temporary satisfaction because that's what most people go off of, right? But you don't understand that if you consistently hold your mind on one thing or desire, you can have anything you want in the world, right? And that's key, right? And I really hope you guys are listening and I really hope you wrote that down, right? Because if you can focus, right, and that is what is lacking, and that is why people are not able to obtain wealth because they're distracted by so many other things, right? Now, what if you distract yourself with the right things, right? And I challenge everybody to try this out. I challenge you to unfollow people who aren't really making you feel good when you look at their pages, right? Unfollow those low vibrational people. And I challenge you to replace it with pages about wealth, pages about money, pages about success, pages about abundance, right? Pages about things that you actually want to attract into your life. And I want you to see how the energy is going to shift because you're changing your focus, right? You're changing your focus. Right now, an acronym for focus that I really love is follow one course until successful. And that is what the devil, right? I'm gonna just say that is what the devil would try to get you. He would try to get you to lose focus. He would try to distract you with these things because he knows that if you can keep your mind on something, right, that through the principle of auto suggestion, you can have anything that you desire, right? Anything that you desire, right? So the point is that it's important, it's extremely important to understand that the things that you put into your mind are going to be exactly what comes out of it. Right? If you constantly scrolling on Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media site you use, and you like, I don't like this person, I don't like that person, this person's always this person always that. Well, that's what you're putting into your mind, so that's what you're going to get out of it. Right? That's what you're putting into your mind, so that's what you're going to get out of it. I really do challenge everybody to clean up their social media just to really get a grip on your mind, because that's one of the things that you can control. You can't control how other people react to you. You can't control what other people are doing, but you can control your programming, right? And the world wants to work so hard to make sure that you don't understand that, because if you know that you can think and grow rich, then you would do that, right? If you knew, right, and I really hope this is resonate with somebody. If this is resonating with y'all, just drop some hearts in the chat, drop some sevens. If you knew that you could actually think and grow rich, right, you would do that. Like, I'm just gonna say it one more time, because this is not an awareness that most people have, right? When you think about wealth, the first thing that probably comes to your mind is a celebrity. It probably is somebody who has a lot of money, but that doesn't mean that person is wealthy, right? That person could be on a money frequency, but that doesn't mean that person's wealthy, right? You want to start to put yourself on the vibration that you want to be on. And I say this all the time. You have to involve all five of your senses when you're trying to change your mind about something. And it's important to know that you're like literally your subconscious mind, right, which is below the conscious mind that you can control. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is fake. So if you're telling yourself, and you again are resetting that program, I am so happy and grateful now that I am rich. I am so happy and grateful now that I am wealthy. I am so happy and grateful now that I am healthy. I am so happy and grateful now that I am abundant. I am so happy and grateful now that I am strong. I am so happy and grateful now that whatever your desire is, if you continuously focus on that desire, if you continuously hold that desire in your mind, if you continuously reset your programming, then there's no other option but for that thing to manifest in your real life, right? And I have to give this example as well. Have you ever thought about somebody and they called you, right? Have you ever thought about somebody and they called you, or you thought about somebody and you called them and it was like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you, right? If that ever happened to you, just drop a seven in the chat, right? Because that right there should just go to show you how strong, how powerful, how magnetic your mind actually is, right? Like one of my favorite mentors, his name is Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor talks about your marvelous mind, right? The fact that your mind is a marvelous tool that can literally bring you anything that you want in life if you understood the power that you actually held by using it, right? But most of us do not think. We do not think. And it's a sad phenomenon, but a lot of people don't think, right? That's really why there's a 2%, because only 2% of people are actually taking the information that is found inside of books and applying it to their lives. And we say this all the time, right? Knowledge is powerful, but applied knowledge is much more powerful, right? I'm literally giving you guys the awareness that you can change your life by changing your thoughts. And I really want you to take it seriously. I want you to see how it works. And the reason why, just think about it. How many times have you said affirmations, right? How many times have you really wanted something? You really desired something. You wanted something so bad. But then when you didn't get it, right, in the time frame that you wanted to get it, you just said, well, I don't want that thing anymore. So you took your attention off of that thing and you started to focus on something else, right? If that's ever happened to you, drop some sevens or drop some hearts in the chat, right? If you ever wanted something so bad, but when you didn't get it in a timely manner, right? You didn't get it on your timeline. You said, I don't want it anymore. And you took your focus off of that thing, right? Exactly. Exactly. I see sevens coming in the chat on Zoom. You took your focus. You did not get your thing because it wasn't destined for you. You did not get your thing because it wasn't for you. You didn't get your thing because you didn't continuously work on getting that thing, right? Success is the worthy progression. No, is the progression of a worthy ideal. Do you know what that means? That means that success is consistent. Success is in root of, like, you attaining one thing is not the point. You going through those experiences to get to that one thing is the point. So I just want everybody to really take control of your experience, take control of your mind, take control of what you allow into your mind, take control of what people are saying to you, right? Because if somebody has your ear, right? My mom says this to me all the time. If somebody has your ear, they have your mind, because they're putting things into your conscious mind, which you're allowing to filter into your subconscious mind, which is going to believe, remember, anything you tell it to believe, right? It's going to believe anything you tell it to believe. I can tell my subconscious mind, I'm a billionaire. I am a billionaire. And when I get connected to that feeling and I really start to believe it, it's going to happen and it's going to work, right? And I say this all the time as well. We don't know how long it takes an idea to go from concept to the moment you get that idea to the time you write it down, right? To the time it actually happens. We don't know how long that takes because success looks different for everybody. We know how long it takes a baby, right? A baby is going to be in the womb for 9 months. We know that. Certain plants, they have a life cycle. We know that they're going to be in that cycle for this amount of time. If we're cooking, right? Boiling eggs, right? It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Certain things have a time period where we know exactly how long it's going to take, but we're not like that, right? Life is very complex. So when you put an idea or thought or a request out there into the universe, you don't know how long it's going to take for that idea to bounce back to you, right? Because think about how many things that you actually did think about and actually did get. Right now, you can drop a 7, right, or Instagram or on Zoom, right? Drop a 7 in the chat if you ever thought about something and you actually got that thing, right? Now, I'm gonna drop some 7s in the chat myself because I know the power of my mind. And even before I knew how to redirect the energy, how to reset my program, how to shift my paradigm, right? Yes, I see 7s coming in the chat on Zoom. If you ever thought about something and got it what you want, right? 7s. So think about, that was unintentional, right? You were just hoping and wishing and throwing energy out there, hoping that it happened. But think about what happens when you actually understand that that was a very intentional thing. You thought it, and then it came to be, right? Alexa. I love Alexa, right? Alexa, somebody thought about this Alexa, and now it's here, right? That this was once an image in somebody's mind, right? Somebody thought about, I love nails, right? Somebody thought about these press-on nails, and here they are in the flesh. This was an idea in somebody's mind. It was a concept before. So everything starts in your mind. Everything starts in your mind. Everything starts in your mind. And everything starts with your center programming, right? So I'm going to ask you guys again. When you hear the word money, right? When you hear the word wealth, abundance, success, what words come to mind? And if it's not an image of yourself, then you need to change your internal programming, right? Because when I think of those words, I come to my mind, right? I come to my mind, right? So when you think about money, right? Oh, Tyriana said it's coming. Okay, I hear that. When you think about money, what comes to mind, right? And if you get, I know we did this activity last week. Somebody said anxiety, stress. I need more. But who taught you that? If you can remember your first memory and thought about money, I'm pretty sure it came from your family, right? I'm pretty sure your first thoughts or impressions, right, or conditions about money came from your family. And by show of hands, I don't know if anybody has any millionaires in their family. So we let these, and no offense to anybody's family, because my family broke too, but it's like we really let people with a broke mindset control the infinite abundance that we actually have access to because our programming is set by their programming, right? Our programming is set by our family's programming. And I see this quote and I love this quote. If you did not come from a wealthy family, right? A wealthy family must come from you. Why? Because you can change that. You don't have to do what your mom did and your dad did and your grandmom did and then their mom did and then their mom did. All families seem to do is perpetuate their problems, but nobody's talking about how to change them, right? Because nobody has that programming. And I really want you to be the person in your family who says, you know what? Enough is enough. I am tired of doing the same thing for generations to generations. I'm tired of seeing my family struggle, right? I want you to have the awareness that you can change your life when you change your mind, right? Listen to more self-help books. Listen to people who genuinely have your best interest at heart, right? Find people who are going to be willing to tell you the right things. Find mentors online. I listen to Bob Proctor. I listen to Napoleon Hill. I listen to Andrew Carnegie. I listen to, it's a bunch of writers. I listen to Maxwell Maltz, right? I listen to all of these things because my internal programming that I grew up with was not the best. It was not the best. I wasn't told over and 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 over again that I could be rich, that I could do anything, right? If you were not, right? Because I'm really trying to see something here. If you were not told over and over and over again that you were born rich, drop some sevens in the chat. If you were not told that you were born rich, right? And I'm gonna drop some sevens as well because I was never told that. I was never told that until I became an adult. I wasn't told that until last year. Like last year, I discovered that, and I'm 29 years old. And it's people older than me that I impact because they don't even know that. But I'm here to tell you today that you were born rich. Think about it, right? The technology that we use on cell phones, is that new technology or did we just figure out how to use it, right? When you learn how to cook something for the first time, you specifically, when you learn how to cook something for the first time, is that new? Is that a new cooking technique or did you just figure out how to do it, right? And I really, really, really hope y'all feel where I'm coming from, right? Right? Nothing in this world is new. Is being a millionaire new, family? My IG family, is being a millionaire anything new? Is having billions in the bank new? Is wanting to look nice and want more for yourself new? Is entrepreneurship new? Are cell phones new, family? Is any of this stuff new? Right? Is digital entrepreneurship new? Right? I'm getting no's, right? It's not new. You just have to figure out how to do it. There are literally books written on how to get rich. There's literally a book called Think and Grow Rich. There's literally a book called The Science of Getting Rich, right? So if you put your mind to these things, right, instead of getting consumed with whatever you've been programmed to consume, and it's okay, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, right? And I say this to people all the time. You didn't even choose your name, right? Let's get into it. You didn't even choose your name, right? So how could you possibly have chosen your internal programming, right? How could you possibly have chosen your internal programming? You didn't even have the awareness that internal programming was a thing some people before today, right? So if you didn't choose your name, right, which is an identity that you are, you will go to war. Like you will go to war for your name. Like you will argue somebody that I am who I am, right? Unless you legally change your name, that's a different story. But you only believe that so much because somebody told you that so many times until you believed it. Like that, I promise you, that's the greatest example I've ever heard of how to reprogram your mind, right? You didn't choose your name. You didn't choose to be here. You didn't choose any of this. Everything that's happening to you right now is a result of a condition that somebody placed on you, right? Whether it was your parents, whether it was a teacher, whether it was a friend, whether it was a family. But I really need everybody to wake up and have a greater awareness of your own existence. Like you're one of the only species on this planet that can think and rationalize and actually use your mind to create the environment that you want. Animals adapt to their environment. Human beings, right, create their environment. And I'm going to say that again because animals adapt to their environment. Human beings create their environment. Why is it that some people are rich and wealthy and then some people are poor? It's a mindset, right? It's a mindset, right? Why is it that some people are professional beggars, right? And that may be a shock for some, but look it up on YouTube. Why is it that some people are professional beggars making six figures a year and you're not? Why is that? Like, because they put their mind to getting that bread and then they get up and they get to work, right? So that's what it really comes down to. How bad do you want to change? Are you okay with your internal programming? Are you okay with the fact that you can make money real easily? Yeah, that's cute, but can you keep it? Right? You can make money real quick, right? You real persuasive, but can you multiply it? Right? And these are things you have to start thinking about. Where did your programming come from about money? Who told you it was okay to be broke? Because that, I'm not curse, but it's not cute. It's not cute. It's not cute to be broke. It's not cute to feel stuck, right? Because I've been in that position before and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. So I started asking questions. I started looking for answers. I started reading books, family, and the answers are literally in the books, right? If you can keep up with yourself, if you're serious, if you have a desire to get wealthy, then you can do that with your mind. You can do it. You spend more time with yourself than anybody. So you can't blame your situation on anybody but yourself. You cannot blame your situation as an adult, as a rational thinking adult who's choosing to get up and make decisions every day, whether that be go to work, whether that be entrepreneurship, but you may have gotten off track. Maybe you're an artist. No matter what you are, it's going to take a whole lot. It's going to take a whole lot of discipline, right? And when we say discipline, I feel like people take the word discipline the wrong way, but discipline is about reprogramming yourself to always get back on track, right? Because that's what it's about. And that's how you get anything that you want in the world, right? You want to hit a new level, put your mind to it and get it done. Because anything that you write down, right? And this is just the law of the universe, anything that you write down, anything that you auto suggest to yourself, anything, any desire that you spend 10 to 30 minutes focusing on the day will find a practical way to produce itself through physical means. That is literally the law of the universe, y'all. Like, I wish I was making this up. I wish it was magic. I wish it was a bunch of woo woo, but it's not. There's a science to getting rich. So if you want to get rich, start looking, start asking questions, start shifting your environment, start surrounding yourself with people who are doing the things that you want to do. Start eliminating the people who are not doing the things that you want to do. Right? I know I unfollow a bunch of people, and I really don't mind if people take it personal because what you're doing is not conducive to my development. I don't want your low vibrational energy in my subconscious. So I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And people can take that personal, but I don't want to see it. That's not what I want to think about when I go to bed at night. When I start feeling bad about myself and feeling bad about money, I don't want it to be because of something I saw on Instagram. Like, you're really going to let another human being shift your paradigm and let you stay in a low vibrational state when you were born rich? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have the awareness, like, you know what? I really should use my mind. Like, how many people actually got up and and you were intentional about everything you did today? You got up, you brushed your teeth, right? You washed your face, you did all these things. It was just auto suggestion. If your day was very routine this morning, you did the same thing you do every day. That's called auto suggestion, right? Auto suggestion is the concept that you're doing something on autopilot without thinking about it. When I wake up, I stretch, I meditate, I read. Like, these are things I just do on autopilot. But just to make it basic, it's like you wake up, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you stretch, you use the bathroom. You don't have to think about these things. So why isn't your success on autopilot? Because you're not programmed for that. You're not built for that. And that's not saying don't get built for that. It's saying, wow. Like, it's just really, I really don't want you to be like, oh my God. I really want you to be like, wow. I didn't think about what I did today. I didn't think about who I talked to. I didn't think about reaching for my phone before I even said, thank you, God. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm alive today. Because you could have stopped me from breathing. You went for your phone before you went for your affirmations. Right now, my alarm on my phone actually is an affirmation. So when I go to hit snooze, the first thing I'm saying is, I am so happy and grateful that I'm making 5 figures a month. Thank you, God. It's an affirmation because I want that to be the first programming that I see when I wake up in the morning, because I have the awareness that I can do that. I have the awareness that society didn't set me up to win. I have the awareness that my parents did the best that they could. I have the awareness that I was keeping myself perpetually broke by not believing that I could have money, because I never saw no images of people around me having money. So how would I know that that was a reality for me? Right? The only places I saw people with money was online. And that just seemed so far and distant. I didn't understand that there was a science to getting rich. I didn't understand that you could think and grow rich. I really didn't understand these things. But once I started to read books and I put them into practice, I said, oh wow, this is real. And I love it so much. And I've been able to attract everything I want into my life. I don't stress about anything. I don't stress about money. I don't stress about a setback. I don't stress about a pullback. I don't stress about a blown account. I don't stress about a no. I don't stress about I don't stress about nothing. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because I know that if I put my mind to something, I'm going to get the result that I want. I put my mind to something, I'm going to create the reality that I want. Nobody can stop what's in my, like, do y'all understand that nobody can stop what's in your mind? Like, and I want you guys to understand this as well, right? I want you guys to understand this as well. No matter whether, because people only think about manifestation as something amazing. People sitting down praying, burning candles, manifesting, but you can manifest negative things into your life. And people do this every single day. Like every time you think about somebody, let's just say you have an ex, you have a friend, you just have something or somebody that you just don't like, but you spend so much time thinking about it. Now this person's on your timeline. Now this person is texting you or calling you. Now this person has come to your level of awareness because you've manifested that, right? Have you ever gotten a large, because this is about money. Have you ever gotten a large lump sum of money and you were excited, but then you like, I know I'm about to spend this money. Dang, I can't wait until you already thinking about the next time you're going to get a large chunk of money because you don't believe that you can be good with this money because you never were good with this money. Therefore, you're not programmed to believe that you can be good with money. But the cool thing about life is you have the opportunity to change your mind every single day. Every single day you can change your mind. You can choose today, you know what? I don't even like those people no more. Every time I talk to her, every time I talk to him, we arguing anyway. I don't want that in my life. You can make the decision today that I'm not being broke in 2022. I'm not doing that. Like that's the decision I made last year, y'all, when I quit my job. I said, enough is enough. I quit, right? And I'm not doing this anymore. And I decided from that day, I don't know where the money gonna come from, God, but I trust you, right? And I understand that through the power of auto suggestion, right? And for people who are religious, let's just call it prayer, right? Let's call auto suggestion prayer. Let's call it what it is because we prayer is also scientific, right? And prayer is equivalent. It says I'm breaking up on Zoom, but I'm still here on IG. It says prayer is the equivalent of auto suggestion, right? So prayer is something that's a spiritual practice, right? And auto suggestion is something that's a new thought practice, right? We auto suggest things we want into our life. But prayer is when you pray for something, right? Do you just pray one time? Or do you just like, God, I really need this to happen? God, I really need this to happen. God, please. Oh my God. Like when you really want something, how many times do you say, God, please, God, please? Somebody just drop a number in the chat. And when you really, truly want something, or you think you want something, because most people only pray when they're desperate, right? When you really, truly think you want something, how many times do you ask God for it, right? How many times? And I'll wait for a number on Zoom, but it's a lot. It's a lot, right? Because prayer is not some empty request that you send into the universe waiting for a man in the sky to answer, right? That's not what prayer is, family. And I'm sorry to bust anybody's bubble, but that's not what prayer is, right? Prayer is you saying and desiring something so much that it has no choice but to manifest, right? That's what it is, y'all. That's literally what it is. Like prayer is you saying something, right? Because when it comes to manifesting what you want in life, it all starts with your belief, right? It all starts with your desire, right? Consistency until it happens. Exactly. It's consistency, but it's not until it happens. It's really until it happens because you know it's going to happen simply because the law of auto suggestion, the commitment of auto suggestion, the power. How many times have we heard the power of prayer, right? Now let's think about the commitment of auto suggestion if you want to think about it from a different perspective. Exactly, a burning desire, right? When we're praying, it's usually because we really need something to happen. We need it so bad that it happens, and we be like, "Oh my God, thank you, God! It's a Christmas miracle." But it's not even about that. It's just that the desire was so strong. You aligned yourself with that belief that this was going to happen no matter what, right? The power of the law of attraction, right? If you guys never saw, if you don't know about the law of attraction, you can look it up. You can read The Secret. You can watch by Proctor. He has a 24-hour live stream on YouTube. It's just all about mindset. It's a lot of things you could do. It's a lot of things y'all could do to learn about the power of the law of attraction. I'm open to talk about it. Send me a DM. If you want Zoom, text me. Everybody has my number, literally, or you can send me a direct message. But yeah, y'all, this is really what I just wanted to talk to y'all about today. Just put your mind to something. Like if your mind can believe it, then you honestly can achieve it. And a lot of people, again, have to see it to believe it, meaning it has to be physical, but you can start to create your environment so that you see it to believe it. Like make vision boards, talk to yourself and do it. And on days when you don't feel like doing it, that's when you do it the most, right? On days when you're feeling extra sad or down, pray harder. Auto suggest harder. On days when you feel like it's just not going to work, pray harder. Auto suggest harder. The next time you blow your account, auto suggest this is my last blown account. I am so happy and grateful that my accounts are overflowing. I am so happy and grateful now that my accounts are overflowing. I am so happy and grateful now that my accounts are overflowing. Right? Whatever you want to happen, you just have to speak it and keep saying it. It's not a request. It's a demand from the universe that is gonna happen. So whatever you want, just say it. I tell myself, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a 10-figure earner. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm a 10-figure earner. I am so happy and grateful now that I've impacted 1 billion people all around the world because I know the simple fact that I said it is getting done. So anything I say is going to happen. So when they say no weapon, no word formed against me shall prosper, I am the billboard for that because I don't understand what you're talking about. All I understand is what I thought in my mind and what I see and what I'm getting. So that's that on that, family. That's really what I wanted to talk to y'all about today. It's just the power of using your mind, right? Is your mind in a place where it needs to be? Is your mind cluttered? Is your mind free? Is your mind negative? Is your mind positive? Are you a happy person? Are you a sad person? And why is that? Go back to yourself and ask yourself where your sadness come from, where your ideas and thoughts about money come from, image come from. The way you feel about yourself and how you look. Who told you that? And if you don't like it, change it. Period. Basically, that's how I feel about everything. So that's that, family. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll give everybody about 30 seconds. If anybody would like to say anything on IG in the comments, I will read it out loud for my people on Zoom. Or if anybody on Zoom would like to say anything, you can unmute yourself. You can drop a 1 in the chat. And I'll give you the power to unmute yourself, and you can just leave some commentary on today's topic. I thank everybody, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's been amazing. All right, awesome. Everybody saying they don't got nothing to add. They don't got nothing to say, y'all. I'm going to be posting the playback on YouTube. I post the playback every Thursday at 2 p.m. So you guys will be seeing my face every single day, Monday through Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays are playback days, but Thursday is the playback day for Off the Charts Mindset Calls. Also, feel free. Everybody is welcome to join us because we will be having another heater like this tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. called the Digital Dash. The Digital Dash is all about mindset. Do you have what it takes to get what you want, and how do you get there? Right? We're not screaming at you. We're giving you some real gems. So if you want to join the Digital Dash, check the link in my bio on Instagram, because all the links to join any of the calls that me and my sisters host are here. So I love you, family, and it's been real.